Hello everybody and welcome to Downward Cow, the YouTube channel. My name is Joanna for anyone who doesn't know me, and here we are with a 20-minute Sun Salutation A yoga flow. So whenever you're ready, go ahead and find yourself in a seated meditation on your mat. In a cross-legged position here, choose what feels good with your hands, maybe planting them palms facing up on your knees as a sign of receiving from the universe. Or maybe just planted down on your knees, maybe in your lap, maybe hands over your heart, doesn't matter. You choose. Once you're here, go ahead and soften your gaze or completely close your eyes if that feels safe for you. And begin to just focus on your natural breath. So without changing anything, just taking a scan and noticing how your breath feels. Notice how your body feels. Notice if there's any thoughts that are running through your mind and see if you can let them pass. These beginning moments of practice are important in remaining internal, listening to your body, paying attention to every sensation that you're feeling. Eventually, we move towards focusing on a certain specific style of breathing called the complete yogic breath. So from wherever you are in this meditative state, begin to place one of your hands over your heart and the other over your belly. So from here, when you're ready, take a big, deep inhale through your nose. Fill your chest, fill your middle lungs, fill all the way down to your belly. And when the air reaches the full capacity, exhale through your nose, depleting all of that oxygen from your lungs. So that's this full and complete breath. It's much deeper than likely your natural breathing. And that's perfectly normal. So try that one more time. Take a big deep inhale through your nose. Again, filling your chest, filling the middle, filling all the way down through your pelvis as if there's a balloon in your belly. And you exhale through that nose again, all the way out, depleting that oxygen, that life force energy. Do this style of breathing, this complete breath, throughout the entire practice. Feel free to move through as many rounds of breathing that you need, but eventually we'll start to move through. Beginning this practice in shoulder rolls, bringing your shoulders up towards your ears, rolling them back behind you. Remembering to breathe, just warming into the shoulders and the spine. Your timing will bring them forward, bringing your shoulders up towards your ears and rolling them to the front. Take as many of these as you need, and then eventually you run through some neck rolls. So you bring your neck, your chin down towards your chest and kind of sway side to side, rolling all the way around, bringing your chin up towards the sky, your ears towards one shoulder and the other. Take as much time here as well as you need, really noticing the sensation, all of the cracks and the kinks that you might be feeling or hearing in your neck, in your spine maybe. Let this feel good. Breathing through these rolls, noticing how your body now feels differently than it did a moment ago. From here, we begin to move to hands and knees into a tabletop position. Hands underneath the shoulders, roughly knees underneath the hips, and begin to take any intuitive, natural, organic movement that your body wants to take. And it literally doesn't matter what it looks like. It matters how it feels, and it should feel good. So maybe you push your weight into your knees, almost in a child's pose, then pushing your weight all the way into your hands, into a cobra of sorts. Maybe you do barrel rolls with your chest or more neck rolls. Again, remembering here that we're only looking for how it feels. We're not worried so much of how it looks or any sort of perfect alignment. We start to run through a few rounds of cat and cow. So inhale, drop your belly, lift your gaze, shine your heart to your cow. And you exhale, tuck your chin, round your spine, push the ground away. Do that again, inhale to your cow, really making that C curvature with your spine. And then again, exhale to cat, really curving that as well, the opposite side, warming into your spine. Do one more, inhale to cow. Exhale to cat. Remembering to breathe here. That mindful breath, the most important part. Working on some balance here together. Start to extend the right hand out in front of you, left foot back behind you. Find your balance. Your next exhale will crunch the right elbow in towards the left knee out underneath you. Your inhale brings those limbs back up and out, and exhale, plant it down. Switching sides, extend the left arm out in front of you, right foot this time back behind you. Your exhale will crunch it in underneath. Notice that sensation. Big inhale back out. Good. Exhale, plant it down. From here, we begin to push into an extended child's pose. So widen out your knees all the way, maybe the width of the mat, or at least just wider than your hips. Begin to sink the weight of your hips over your heels. Extend your arms out long. Melt your head and chest down. Take a few rounds of complete yogic breath here in this extended child's pose. Remembering this shouldn't feel forceful, it should just feel complete. So take another inhale here in extended child's pose, and your exhale will walk those hands over to the left side of your space. Noticing this expansion in the right side of the body from the right fingers all the way to the right toes. Good. Your next inhale walks you back through your center, regular extended child's pose. And then again, the next exhale will walk your hands over, this time the right side of your space. Now noticing this opening in the left side of your body. Maybe you breathe, linger here for as long as you need. But again, then take another big inhale through to your regular extended child's pose, through to your center. Beautiful work here so far, yogi. When you're ready, you'll pop up from this child's pose back to your tabletop, the hands and knees pose. Take some time, and then eventually you'll start to walk your hands towards your knees until you're basically standing up on your knees. We'll move through our camel. So your choice, you either take the palms of your hands onto your lower back and dropping your head, lifting your chin up towards the sky, taking a small camel variation, this back bend. Or you choose, maybe you start to reach for one or both of your ankles for an even deeper back bend, a deeper stretch. If you have a block or maybe a thick pillow of some sort, you can always plant it behind you and reach for that instead of your feet. You choose what camel variation works best for your body this time on your mat. You breathe through your camel, and then eventually you find yourself back walking down, hands and knees, tabletop, being very gentle with your body here. We start to push into our first downward facing dog of practice. So begin to extend your hands out long, tuck your toes, lifting your hips up and back. Downward facing dog here. Take up space. Maybe your feet are as wide as the mat goes, or your hands as well. And you start to bend into one or both of your knees, pedaling out your feet. Maybe you shake your head, yes and no. Take as much time as you need here to warm in to this first downward dog, this inverted V shape. And to look up at that space in between your hands, and then walk, step, or jump your feet to meet your hands into your first forward fold. And take your time here settling in. Maybe your knees are totally bent, or maybe they're completely straight. Your hands either at the ground, your ankles, your shins, your thighs, it doesn't matter. As long as you feel this in the backs of your legs, you're doing it right. Folding your body in half, letting the crown of your head hang heavy. Maybe you grab for opposite elbows and slightly sway side to side. And then letting your arms dangle out in front of you. We start our first sun salutation A. So from here, inhale to a halfway lift. So your hands glide up your shins or thighs, straighten out the spine, and exhale, fold back forward. Good. You inhale all the way to standing, arms extended all the way above your head. Side body bend, dropping the right arm, left arm swaying over to the right. Feel this opening. Good. You inhale both arms through center. Switching sides, exhale, dropping the left arm, now swaying over to the left. Beautiful job here, moving and breathing. Your next inhale brings those arms fully back up. Take a big inhale here, and exhale, bring your arms down beside you. Maybe you need to adjust like I do. Eventually, you'll interlace your fingers behind your tailbone. Inhale, puff up your chest and try to straighten out your elbows. As you exhale, hinge at your waist and fold forward, keeping those fingers interlaced as much as possible, or maybe you just grab onto your fingers with both hands. Maybe swaying side to side, feeling this opening in your shoulders, eventually letting your arms dangle out in front of you. Back to regular forward fold. Beautiful. You inhale again to a halfway lift, hands to shins, straighten out the spine. Exhale this time, plant your hands down on the ground, step or jump back to a high plank, and from your toes or knees, flow through what's called vinyasa. 3-part system here. Exhale, chaturanga, yogi push-up, hover over the mat, and you can lower all the way down. Inhale, push your weight into your hands, straighten your elbows, shine your heart and chest to a cobra. And then exhale, flip yourself over, tuck your toes, lift your hips up and back. Downward facing dog is where you meet. Amazing job here, yogi. Breathe in this downward facing dog after that first sun salutation A. We have 2 more to flow through. So when you're ready, you look up at that space in between your hands. Again, you walk, step, or jump your feet. To meet in that forward fold, we start this flow again. So we inhale again to our halfway lift. Lift and lengthen here, and exhale, fold and close. Good. Inhale all the way to standing, arms raised above your head. Take those side body bends, dropping the right hand, swaying over to the right, opening the left side of the body. Your inhale brings both arms to center, switching sides. Exhale over to the left. Beautiful. Inhale one final time, arms all the way above your head, and exhale, drop them down beside you. Again, maybe you need to fix yourself. You start to interlace your fingers behind the tailbone. Again, inhale, puff up your chest, really straighten out the elbows, lift your chin. Exhale, forward fold, keeping those fingers interlaced above your head. Maybe you rock side to side, opening your shoulders, then letting your arms dangle beside you. Inhale again, halfway lift. Exhale, vinyasa, planting your hands down, walk, step, or jump back to that high plank. From the toes or knees, you exhale, chaturanga, that yogi push-up, lower down. Inhale to your upward facing dog or this cobra. And then again, exhale, flip over, downward facing dog. All right, yogi, you have 1 more sun salutation A to flow through. It's the exact same little sequence as the first 2, but this time I'm gonna stop cueing. I'm gonna bump up music and let you flow through to your own pace. Use this as the freedom to move and breathe and explore on your own. Have some fun with it. Amazing job, yogi. Keep flowing through if you're still moving. No rush here. That's what I love so much about this style of teaching, is that it really gives you the power and the freedom to flow at your pace and do what your body needs. But once you found yourself in that down dog, take another few rounds of breath, and then eventually you'll find yourself on your knees. Your next inhale will bring your arms all the way up towards the sky. Clasp your fingers together, drop them down to the nape of your neck, feeling the stretch in the backs of your arms. Your next inhale will bring those arms back up. Now dropping the right hand and swaying over to the right, another side body bend. Good. Inhale, arms back up and switching sides. Dropping the left hand, swaying over to the left. Good. You inhale all the way back up, and then eventually you're gonna find yourself down on your bottom. We're moving to a few cool down positions before we finalize with Shavasana. Once you found yourself on this seat, extend those legs out long, maybe rolling your ankles, wiggling your toes. We're finding a head to knee pose. So just extending that left leg out long, left toes facing up, bringing the right sole of the foot towards the inner left thigh. You can inhale, bring those arms to the sky, and exhale, just fold over that extended left leg, reaching for the left toes, giving yourself grace, knowing that your experience today on the mat is going to look and feel different than it ever has. So wherever you grabbed onto that left leg, maybe your thigh, your knee, your left shin, the toes, it doesn't matter. As long as you feel this in the back of your leg, you're doing it right. Breathing here, remembering that most important part. Eventually you begin to walk those hands towards your mid-center neutral spine, and then meeting the right foot to the left. Maybe you shake out those knees, wiggling them up and down. We're moving just towards the opposite side, so this time extending the right leg out long, right toes towards the sky, bringing the left sole of the foot towards the inner right thigh, and hinging, folding forward over to the right side of the leg. Now, knowing that your body is not symmetrical, you will also feel different on different sides, and that's perfectly normal. So if this side, you're grabbing onto a different part of the leg than the other, that's perfectly fine. Land wherever feels good, wherever you're feeling the stretch in the back of the right leg, and just focus on your breath. Hang here for another breath or so, and then eventually you'll start to walk your hands back up towards your mid-center, finding a neutral spine, bringing the left foot to meet the right. And again, maybe you shake your legs up and down or do whatever counter pose your body's asking for. And then if you wish to maybe plant your hands back behind you and windshield wiper your knees side to side, that might feel good. Please take that if you wish. Feeling a release in your legs, in your spine. Eventually you'll find yourself laying all the way down to your back, and from here, hug your knees in towards your chest. You can choose, grab onto your kneecaps, maybe grabbing back behind your knees, or maybe even hugging yourself all the way around your shins. It doesn't matter. Whatever is accessible to you in your body today is perfect. Once you found that variation that feels good, just kind of rock side to side, feeling this massage in your spine, and then planting the soles of your feet down onto the mat. We're working towards reclined pigeon or figure four. You can cross the right ankle over the left knee, feeling this in the right hip. If you need a little bit more, feel free to lift that left foot off the ground and grab onto it so that you're deepening the stretch. Switching sides, now planting the left ankle over the right thigh. Again, if this is perfect, stay here. If you need a little bit more, lift that right foot this time, grabbing onto that right thigh, just deepening the stretch, breathing through it. Eventually, you'll find yourself all the way down, maybe finishing postures here, sticking your legs up in the air or taking a happy baby of sorts, rocking side to side, doing any last final movements that your body is craving. And if you're ready for your final resting pose, your final Shavasana, just begin to extend those legs all the way out long, down the width of your mat, taking up space as much as you need. Maybe placing your hands over your chest, down beside you, even maybe above your head. Finding this beautiful spot to just rest. Soften the gaze or completely close the eyes if that feels good. And just be. Begin to bring your awareness back to this present moment and start by wiggling your fingers and your toes, maybe even your nose, sticking your arms above your head to take a good morning stretch. Maybe you rock your knees in towards your chest, landing to one side of the mat or the other into a little ball, using your arm as a pillow. You choose whatever your body needs in order to find yourself back in a seated meditation on your mat. Take your time in getting there. Try and keep your eyes closed if you can, remaining internal as much as possible. Big inhale, arms all the way up towards the sky. Place your hands together down to your heart. An internal gaze down towards your hands, dropping your chin to chest. The light and love in me sees and honors the light and love within each of you. We bow together. Namaste.